Hey guys, hey, hello. Fuck. Sorry. Um, yeah, so I've been kind of wanting to make this video for a while because I've been so goddamn annoyed about every time I go on YouTube. I think it's because I kind of like to make myself angry and watch shit I'm not gonna like, but every time I go on YouTube, I see some shit about Tumblr or social justice warrior style, some bullshit like that. I'm so tired of seeing this shit. It is so annoying. It is so repetitive. Because it's like, what is it about that this sensation that people are going nuts over that it's like some artist drew I don't know, it's like some anime characters that look alike, the same face and the same skin tone color and everything, and they decided to make them look, I don't know, unique, so people get pissed off about it. In my opinion, I don't know about making them completely different races. I don't know, because technically they are Japanese. I think they should stay Japanese, but they make them a little tanner, or they don't even change the skin tone sometimes. They just give them different faces, or they make them a little thick, they give them some chub, they make them a little hairy, and people get really really in their feelings about that. I just wanted to say, who gives a flying shit? We all have a style trend that happens literally every 2 years, and I feel like a lot of people, they see a certain style and they see other people kind of copying that, with the maybe more and more people are starting to add some more diversity in their art. I don't know if that's a trend. Maybe it is, but it's not a bad trend. I don't think it's bad to have a trend where people are actually thinking and saying, hey, maybe we could add more people that look a little different from each other or have different backgrounds and all that stuff. That would be kind of nice to have. There's really nothing wrong with that. And there are literally names for old classic style trends. It's been going on since art even began. You've had let me see if I can remember, the 1800s. You've had Rococo, Realism, Cubism, Impressionism, Post-Impressionism. All this stuff is literally artists saying, wow, that's pretty cool, I'm gonna copy that. And you got the same people say the same shit where they're like, oh, this is, I don't like what Monet is doing, this is fucking lame. And someone actually did say that, I forgot his name, but he said Monet's work looked more like an impression of a sunset or some shit like that. And you know what Monet said? He said, fuck you, and he kept making it. And now his shit's in museums. So that's why I feel like that's the same shit's just happening now, where people are like, this is not what life looks like. This is just what you think life looks like. I want it to look like what my life looks like. And I feel like I sound like John Mulaney a little bit. Sorry about that. But yeah, a lot of the social justice warrior videos are really just made to bully artists because they made shit that isn't to their liking. A lot of the times it's really just that. They see art they think is kind of ugly, and then they post it on their little forums, their little Twitter forums or whatever, and they're like, yo, check this shit out, it's so ugly. And then they make some shit up like the social justice warrior Tumblr art style or some shit to make themselves feel valid in their criticism, but it's really not valid. You're just being a bully. Social justice warrior style or Tumblr style is often referred to artwork of marginalized groups. It's literally just drawings of a lot of time people of color, which is not surprising, but people make forums and post pictures of brown characters with full lips, and they're like, oh, it's social justice warrior art, look at this, look at what they've done to this character, they gave them lips, how dare they. When it's this is what people look like. This is, I don't know about you, but when I walk out the house, that's all I see. I see people with lips. I see tan people. I see light-skinned people. I see brown people. Most of them have lips. But I've had my I know someone linked. I wish they never did, because this still bugs me. It doesn't take over my life, but I still think about it. I'm like, man, fuck those people. But someone linked me to a Kiwi forum where they were talking about my artwork, and they basically said that they called it RCD art. I think you all know who RCD are. If you don't, figure it out. But they called it RCD art because of the fact that the characters were brown and a little darker and that they had full lips, like it was a little puckered and all that shit. And I'm like, bitch, I'm using my own face as a reference. I'm using myself as a reference half the time. Like for the hair, for the skin tone, a lot of times I'm using my own face or my sister's or people I know because that's what I'm surrounded by. Like that's reality, friends. Like it's so mind-boggling that these people are so surprised to see artwork that's not of skinny white people all the time. It's so weird. I understand that there are some situations where an artist can go too far with, I don't know if they're trying to be inclusive when they draw this, but I don't know. All I know is they're definitely not a person of color. They're not the person of the race they're interpreting because you can kind of see it. Like, obviously the RCD art person is not black. Pretty obvious. I wouldn't even have to see their face to figure that out. But the way they drew a character from Star Wars, it was not pretty. Like, they made him look like a racist caricature, and it was really bad. To this day, I don't know how they didn't see that, but you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I've drawn certain characters, and I've looked at it, and I'm like, this is not looking good. And I've kind of like tried to like fix that up. Like Blaine, I used to give him some massive hips, like massive hips. It was like balloon hips, and no one ever really called me out on that, which I'm not saying they shouldn't have, but I'm kind of glad I got to see it before it got too bad because it was really bad. I'll show you a picture later, but yeah, it was pretty bad. But I do think that some people can go really far. Like the whole like Star Wars character, that was pretty fucking weird. But people like to use that as like, oh, see what happens when you try to pander to social justice warriors. Like, it's not that. It's like, no, that was just an artist that didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Like that's not what happens when you try to be a decent person and add different people in your artwork. Like the way a lot of these artists draw, like sometimes the art might not be good because they're young and they just don't know how to draw the certain things. It doesn't, like it doesn't mean they're just trying to draw for what they think will get them, I don't know, brownie points for being good people. I don't know. Like just because someone that does like the whole, even with my drawing of Blaine's hips being fucking humongous, like not even like realistic at all for a man or a woman's hips, I feel like yeah, artists fuck up sometimes. Sometimes it looks wrong. Sometimes it can look a little fucked up sometimes. But I think they like to use that as the, ooh, gotcha. Now you should never draw like diverse body types because that could happen. Like guys, it's called improving and learning. Like you can improve from that. Like I don't think I draw Blaine's hips that obnoxious anymore. He still has big hips, but I try to keep it like realistic, at least a little realistic, because that's what artists do. You learn from your mistakes. That doesn't mean you should completely forego like drawing a diversity in your artwork. I think that's so fucking ridiculous. These people complaining are so used to seeing glamorized versions of women and only like 3% of people of color on TV that they react so negatively. But I feel like no one really talks about why these people are reacting that way. Like it's just like, oh, Tumblr style, this is bad, yada yada. What about, why do you think this is bad? This is literally not hurting anyone, like it's really not, like probably save for a few instances like the Star Wars fan art, that was pretty bad, but that was like literally a needle in a big ass haystack. Like I've looked at other star art and the only thing that bothered me was the fact that the eyes were a little misaligned or there was anatomy issues, but literally it's like I don't see the issue with it. Like for me, when I draw my characters, I add body hair and all that shit. Like I don't know if you see in the comic, but Santana has armpit hair. And that's not like a feminist statement. Like, no, it's just because she fucking has body hair. Like, I don't, like, who cares? Who gives a fuck? A lot of people who talk about this style, this whatever, they tend to be really ignorant. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't I've never heard of a Reddit or a Kiwi Farm style. Like, you don't find that kind of weird? Like, I've never heard of that. All I hear about is lefties, left art style, Tumblr art style, but I've never heard of a Donald Trump art style or any of that shit. I don't know, maybe it's because we don't fucking care. Yeah, I sound a little miffed because it's kind of weird how, like, when we draw ourselves, it always has to be for, like, some kind of reason. We always have to explain why we drew that. It's like, can't we just draw ourselves without it being like they're an ulterior motive that we're trying to educate you guys or some shit? Like, damn. I think what I want to say is that what really matters in art, or the only Tumblr art style that really matters, is Tumblr fandom style. Please watch this video, it's so funny. But yeah, I just want to end it on like a not so heavy note. Yeah, whatever, it's fucking art. See ya.